L.A.R. movement. What's happening? I don't know what I'm gonna call this one just yet, but I was looking at some things on World Star. I had this interview with Floyd Mayweather. Guy was, and Floyd don't know how to talk to people. Let's just be real. But the guy was just basically saying he was ducking people and this. And Floyd said, "I know you ain't black." Dude was like, "Yeah, I ain't." He's like, "I know this. This is why I was thinking." The dude said, "You're making it racial." So I'm gonna try to keep this as best plain and simple as I can. The motherfuckers hating. Like, how in the hell can you be undefeated? Can you be uh, the highest grossing fighter ever? Can your punch stats far outweigh everybody else who's boxed in the history? Your ratio of fighting champions is higher than anybody else's. But you a punk. But you a pussy. But you a bitch. But you duck people. And that's my issue. Like, see, when you, and I'm gonna just straight up say it. When you're a black man and you excellent, the facts don't matter. You know how they say men lie, women lie, numbers don't. Well, men lying, women lying, the numbers telling the truth, and people still mad. I mean, think about it. If Manny Pacquiao was 42-0 and he beat like 22, 23, 24 champions, and his punch stats was far outweighing everybody else, and Floyd came along at 53-3, which is a hell of a career, by the way, and fought most people that you never heard except for in the last maybe 8. But he's the pound for pound fighter in the world, number one. Wouldn't wouldn't seem right. Now, all I'm saying is I like Manny Pacquiao. I'm a fan of Manny Pacquiao. I'm a fan of Floyd Mayweather. Really, because I'm a boxing fan. But you know what this shit's starting to look like to me? It's starting to look like when Roy Jones Jr. fought Tarver. All the shit Roy Jones Jr. was doing before he fought Tarver is the reasons why he lost. But when Tarver won the fight, all of a sudden Tarver was the greatest boxer ever. Except when he was boxing people after that and he was getting his ass whooped. So, make a long story short, people just want to see the man lose. Why? I don't know. Could it be color? Yeah. Could it be because he talks so much shit? Yeah. Could it be he has a reason to talk all that shit? Yeah. Accept the shit for what it is, though. If he beats Oscar De La Hoya, and everybody really thought that Oscar was going to hand it to him, and he beat him, then years pass, and then Manny beats him, but that's a real victory for Manny, but it's not a real victory for Floyd. Okay. Floyd beats Ricky Hatton, who was undefeated at the time, mind you. Knocks him out in the 8th. Pacquiao beats Ricky Hatton. Knocks him out in the 2nd cold. I ain't gonna lie, that was a cold ass knockout. Pacquiao's better. Floyd beats Shane Mosley, coming off one of his best looking fights against Margarito. Dominates Shane Mosley except for in that 2nd round. Pacquiao fights Shane Mosley. Dominated Shane Mosley after that fight. Pacquiao fought Margarito after years and years of layoff because he was suspended for beating Miguel Cotto, who, by the way, fought Pacquiao after he lost to Margarito, and who, by the way, that was a pretty damn good fight. But all I'm saying is, Pacquiao fought people either after a loss You know what I'm saying? Or after a situation. So I still think he's one of the great fighters, but he has, if you look at it, you know, he was fighting people after their psyche was kind of messed up. You know what I'm saying? Floyd was fighting mugs at when they was ready. You know, you can't, when you fight one fighter and he loses for the first time, that next fight he might not just be able to jump right back into it. Might still be kind of scarred. Might take a little bit, you know. But I'm saying all that to say, for real, like, what's the big problem? Because if you want to look at it from a boxing standpoint, Pacquiao has the power to knock Floyd out. Pacquiao has the quickness too. But Floyd is a smarter fighter than he's ever faced. Floyd has enough to knock him out, to knock Pacquiao out. And more important, the most important part of the fight is this. Floyd got a 5-inch reach advantage. And he knows what to do with it. So if you're looking for Pacquiao to whip Floyd and knock him out, do you realize he got to figure out how to get inside on Floyd? Do you realize how many fighters have never figured out how to get inside on Floyd? And do you realize when they get inside on Floyd, he busts their ass? I know people want to see him lose because they just want to see him lose. Because he pisses them off. Why? Because he's too good. You don't feel like he's a real person. You can't be that good and a regular person and black and young and flashy and talk all that shit. But if he was a white boy, they'd be on his 5th sequel by now. If he was Mexican, he might be the president of Mexico. If he was Puerto Rican, come on. I got respect for Tito, but like I said, he'd be the shit. You know what I'm saying? If he was Manny Pacquiao, he would be a congressman. Come on now, like, fuck. So, man, call the shit what it is, man. You fucking hating. But you know what? I'm going to do some hating. I think Floyd ducking. I think Floyd scared of Pacquiao. And I think Floyd ain't shit. You know why I said all that? Because I want Floyd to get a little bit more angry and a little bit more pissed off so he can train a little bit more harder and bust his ass. And then retire after his biggest payday, after he beat everybody you said he couldn't beat. Undefeated. And then figure that shit out.